I'm just going to jump in here ahead of tonight's interview. You know, there are a few things that have been a taboo subject in church for decades, one of which is money, and another one is connected to being successful in business. I want to ask a question. How can we help anybody if we're all broke ourselves? The reason we may have money is so that we can help people, especially those that may have fallen on hard times, none of which may be their own fault, of course. Many people in our community and also our church family are now in this category because of COVID-19. Our Champions Kitchen are doing an amazing work every Tuesday night and are cooking and delivering hot meals to more than 3 times the amount of people since March. And as we approach Christmas, there are many more families right here on our doorstep that need our help. As a church, we have been open and closed and open and closed, and all of this has interrupted church as we knew it way back in March. But we have held fast to the belief that we should always do the right thing no matter what. Because of this, we have continued to set aside enough resources to bless as many people in our locality. So, for this Christmas, we are launching Hampers of Hope. This is separate to and on top of what our Champions Kitchen are doing every week. These are hampers for our local community that will contain everything people will need for a turkey Christmas dinner. No matter what happens this Christmas, this year, we want to help put a little hope back into our area by giving away hundreds of hampers of hope. Details will follow this weekend. But right now, we need you to think of anyone that's living within a mile or so of our church building and then nominate them. A few days before Christmas, everybody will be asked to arrive on Champions Car Park to pick up their hamper. Think of it. Without money, we wouldn't be able to do this. Money says to the poor, the needy, and the vulnerable, we can help you when you can't make ends meet yourself. So just to recap, all you have to do is nominate an individual or family that you know may be struggling because they have hit on hard times this year. Come on, let's spread the word, let's spread the love, let's be Jesus to these people. Thank you so much. Now let's head over to our interview for this evening. Hello and welcome. Tonight is the final part for 2020 anyway of a series for Monday nights called The Making Of. Tonight is called The Making of a Businessman, or it could be, of course, a businesswoman, depending on who you are. Tonight we get again to have an opportunity to see behind the scenes of what makes that person successful, and it's more so about who is that person themselves, what makes them tick, what makes their business tick. Tonight, I have the awesome privilege of interviewing somebody that I probably know more than most. Well, I think I do anyway. I'm not too sure. Maybe there'll be some shocks and surprises tonight, because my opportunity tonight is with my own son, Joshua Mark Birchall. Let's give Joshua a big welcome tonight, shall we?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's amazing, Josh, that you're here, because we don't normally find you on this platform.
Yeah, I'm just as shocked as you.
Just as shocked as me, yeah. I did have to twist his arm to be on here, but no, he said, no, I think, Dad, it's not really something I want to do, but I know I should do it. So thanks, Josh, for being here.
No problem.
It's going to be a great 30 to 40 minutes together tonight. I think probably, Josh, this is one of the longest conversations that we've probably had as father and son ever. 30 to 40 minutes all in one go. Maybe we've never had. Does anybody else have that with their kids? 30 to 40 minutes all in one go. But tonight we get to spend this time. We're separated. Is there any chance tonight we can hug, or is that illegal?
It's illegal, sorry.
Illegal, yeah. Is it? Yeah. So how do I get, am I not in your bubble?
No, you're going to have to wait till January, I think.
Okay, I'm going to wait till January to be in your bubble. Can I ask who is in your bubble?
I'd rather not say at this time. Yeah.
He'd rather not say who's in his bubble. There we go. That's one way of saying just butt out, Dad. Keep away from that, will you? Well, Josh, you have announced to us and to everybody else recently some amazing news, which is you're having a baby.
Yep.
A little baby.
Yep.
Well, it may be a big baby. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. And it's due when?
April 15th.
April the 15th. That sounds near to somebody else's in our family, but I'm not sure who that is.
Caleb's.
Oh, Caleb's. Okay. Probably I should have known that, shouldn't I? Anyway, both you and your sister right now are in business. And Caleb, of course, is pretty much known from this platform. And he's the youth pastor here. And we feel, me and your mom are so proud of all of you and what you've done. But tonight is the spotlight is on yourself. We're going to delve and dig behind the scenes. Let's see what we can get out of Josh tonight, shall we? In terms of his life, his background. Let's talk first of all about family, the baby.
Yep.
Okay, so Emma, tell us about Emma. She's from
Australia.
From Australia.
Yep.
She calls it a bubby,
Yep.
not a baby. Is bubby Australian?
No, it's Black Country.
Oh, bubby's Black Country.
Yep.
All right, there we go. All right, I thought it was Australian.
No.
All right, so you're having a little bubby.
Little Bubby.
Boy or girl?
Don't know. We'll find out on the day.
Do you want to announce the name or the names chosen tonight to the world?
No.
No. So obviously we're hearing certain things about Emma's dietary requirements at the moment. She's got some fads and what's going on there?
Yeah, she's thoroughly enjoying carbohydrates at any hour of the night. So sometimes in my pajamas I have to walk to Lidl and get garlic breadsticks or pop to King Cod for a bag of chips and...
King Cod.
Yeah, in Cradley Heath.
Cradley Heath, King Cod. Anybody been to King Cod in Cradley Heath?
Don't bother.
Don't bother? Okay, there's a big shout out for King Cod. And what about the golden, what's it called? The golden fry fish? Golden
rice.
Golden rice.
Yeah.
She...
There was one day after school a few weeks ago where she was really craving Chinese. And so straight after school, about 3:30 on a Monday, she decided to drive to our local Chinese, the Golden Rice, having never been before, and was very upset that it was closed at 3:30 in the afternoon. So she ended up at Tesco getting a Chinese meal for two. I didn't get any of it. It was one meal for her and one meal for the baby. So
one meal for Emma, one meal for the bubby. Yeah. I don't think most Chinese restaurants are open at 3:30 in the afternoon. Anybody? No, I don't think they are anyway.
No.
But never mind. You've been married for how long?
Coming up to 3 years.
3 years. Wow, amazing. Just love you, Emma, and can't wait for the third grandchild coming along. Can't wait. Another little baby in the family. Fantastic. So I thought tonight, Josh, it would be a great opportunity to talk and help anybody that out there that may be can you say that word?
Entrepreneurial.
You can say that word. Entrepreneurial. I can also say that word. Entrepreneurial. Say it again.
Entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneurial. It's easy to say, folks. To help anybody with that word.
Yep.
Who might be thinking, yeah, hey, I want to start a business. So, yep, it's certainly for you tonight. It's certainly for anybody because Josh's story, Josh's testimony about God's goodness, favor, anointing upon his life for business is something well worth hearing about. You've done incredibly well. Your turnover is just gone through the roof, phenomenal. And you're only 31 yourself.
Yep.
Tell us how it started. I remember how it started. Because I remember saying to you when you were driving me and your mom crazy because you had this idea that you didn't want to work. Tell us what your first job was. It was an amazing job.
My first full-time job.
Yes. Well, you worked at that place that made you smell.
Subway.
Subway. Has anybody ever worked at Subway? Do you get that? When he came home, he smelled of Subway for days.
Yep.
Subway, and then you went to work for Rentokil.
Rentokil, yeah.
Brilliant job.
Yeah, it wasn't
the rat catcher.
It wasn't in the rat division.
Not in the rat division.
It was in the ATM cleaning division.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
ATM cleaning division. So, meaning?
So I would structure people's days to go and clean certain cash machines.
Wow. Hey,
Very
you'd certainly be in work right now.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Get those cleansing wipes out on all your cash machines, folks, right now, please. But, okay, so you went to... So tell us what you felt like at Rentokil.
Well, I always felt, probably my teenage years, that I wanted to be in business.
Yeah.
So straight out of college, I got that job, and after about 2 or 3 months, I remember they said, because you're the new guy, you need to work over Christmas. And I just didn't really fancy that, to be honest. So I thought this is a great opportunity to start my own business, but I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So I thought if I put myself under a bit of pressure and just hand my notice in, so I didn't have to work Christmas, within 30 days I would have to work out what I was going to do.
Wow.
And there was a guy in the church who heard about this, and he was importing stuff from China at the time, but he also was running a full-time job. So he said to me, how about you use my contacts, because I can't really maximise them with my job as well, and start importing stuff yourself. So that's how it started, age 17, in my bedroom.
Wow. In your bedroom. It's at that point, Josh, I remember me and your mom, well, I was having a private conversation with your mom saying, hey, we really need to get him out of his bedroom. I didn't mean for you to leave the home. I wasn't trying to get rid of you, but you did eventually leave. We didn't want you to. Your mom cried for days, just in case you didn't know that. But eventually you did. I said to you, Josh, come on, if you're going to make a go of this, you really need to stop working this in your bedroom. You need to go and find yourself an office somewhere. And I think you probably did. In fact, your first office was
above the ironing store in Netherton.
Oh, wow. What a grand beginning for Joshua. Above the ironing store, which was owned by the church, I think.
Yep.
Well, run by the church, rented by the church, and you rented from us the top level of the ironing store.
Yeah,
what a beautiful
horrendous.
beginning.
Water running down the walls and everything.
Water running down the walls. But the great thing is your clothes looked amazing, immaculate every single day. They came and ironed his trousers and everything for him. But so that's where you started. Do you remember you were about 12 or 13, and it was then that I think I realized that you probably were more thinking about money than ministry, which was a disappointment, because do you remember you prayed every day to be a pastor?
Yeah.
Every single day you prayed to be a pastor. Well, you're here now, Josh. It's your moment. You can preach right now. But at this moment in time, never say never, folks, but Joshua's life has turned somewhat different. And I remember at about 13, you said to me one night, Dad, I want you to help me with my accounts. At 13, do you remember? So you'd got your nan's giving you pocket money. You were getting a bit of money from paper round, selling things maybe, I don't know. But we sat down for the whole of the evening, and do you remember we wrote on a piece of paper, and I said, if you save everything that you've got for the next 12 months, this is how rich you would be. And I remember his eyes lighting up going, right, I'm going to do that. And I think it was probably at that point that we realized that you were probably made for business.
Yeah.
But I still think that you would make a great pastor. So tell us about, what do you sell? I mean, come on, nobody can kind of fathom out what you do. Is it a bit of this and a bit of that? Is it like...
Yes, obviously 14 years ago I started selling online, and then it's just evolved from that. So started a company at 17, ended up selling that company and buying a few businesses that we turned around by putting them online that didn't have a website.
Wow.
And then Amazon came around, and that's when I started my latest business, which is we started importing food from America.
Wow.
And adding value to the products by putting them into hampers. And it's kind of grown from that, which has been nearly 6 years now.
Okay, so you are selling through Amazon?
Yeah, so we sell predominantly through Amazon, also do a lot of corporate orders, so like businesses that have a Christmas party and things like that. And it's especially popular this year because it's all Zoom parties, so get a lot of corporate customers ordering a few hundred, and they have to be sent to all their different staff. So a few different ways, but predominantly on Amazon.
Okay. So you've had a few... Well, I remember you having a few kind of things that didn't take off too well. I remember you carting me over in a van. We hired a van. I remember you said, Dad, will you come with me? I'm buying a business. And so I had to drive the van, and we had to drive, where was it, all the way to
Devon.
Wales? Devon?
I remember the first time we went, the traffic was so bad we didn't even go.
Correct.
You remember we got halfway and then gave up.
We gave up, came back, and then we did eventually get there.
Probably should have took the hint.
We probably should have took the hint. And this was an incredible business. It was a car light bulb business.
Yeah, never seen one in my life. Didn't know what to do with them either.
I remember that day, Josh, being really stressed because I was due to speak at a big meeting on the night. And I think we arrived about 15 minutes, half an hour before I was due to speak. And we got back at that time and I was really stressed, but never mind. The light bike business kind of came and went.
It was good for a time.
Good for a time.
Yeah.
All right. It was nice spending time with you in the van anyway. It was lovely. Father and son time, a bit of bonding time over the light bulbs. Josh, seriously, okay, we can have a bit of fun. Talk to us about your values. That's the most important thing I think we need to talk about right now. How do you conduct yourself in business? I mean, you've got this clear vision that you have in your life. Talk to everybody about that, starting with, the top and working down.
Yes, I'd always say, obviously, all these are work in progresses, so they're not something that I do 100%, but always aim to put God first before anything else. That can look like a few different things, whether that's the way you conduct yourself at work, the way you obviously deal with your finances, and that also leads into having integrity in business.
Wow.
I'd say that's probably one of my main things. I think over the years I've learned that probably peace of mind is a lot better to have than money. It's no good having money if you haven't got the peace of mind. Mm-hmm. So I think that all stems from obviously leading yourself with integrity. And running the business with integrity. Also, being a hard worker, obviously, only way you're going to get anywhere in life, but also not working yourself to the point of nervous breakdown, because I think, as we've seen with COVID this year, when our freedom has been taken away, you kind of think, well, what have you actually got left? And it's all well and good having money, mm-hmm. but if you haven't got the freedom to do what you want, sure. And spend your time how you'd like, then it's actually worthless. So people who always say, oh, you should be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going to bed at 11 o'clock working all day, it's actually great to start with, but it's not a sustainable way of life, because there has to be a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And money comes and goes, but I think freedoms are something that you probably should work towards. Okay. Also, working out from first few years what you're not good at. I think everybody's great at a few things.
So tell us what you're not good at.
I'm not a people person. So yeah, work that out pretty quick. So that's the pastoring out the window.
Pastoring out the window, folks.
Yeah, so working out what your strengths and weaknesses are. So as I say, I think people are good at a few things, but it's better to work out what you're not good at and then bring in staff alongside you that are better than you, and not being scared to bring in somebody that can actually teach you, even though they are probably a pay grade behind you. So surrounding yourself with good people and also having mentors who are stages ahead of you is also an extremely valuable thing to do.
Brilliant. So let me ask you this question on behalf of all your staff at your work right now who are working. They're probably working while you're here, to be honest. They're like Christmas elves right now at the factory. And you Father Christmas? I don't know who you are. But the truth is, have you bought them a kettle yet? Do they get a tea break at that? I know.
Yeah, also a funny story. You'd like this one. They're asking for a microwave because we've just moved into a new premises.
What, did they have like a meeting about a microwave, or did one of them come forward?
No, one of them said, it'd be great if we had a microwave. And I just thought, it's just going to be a mess all the time and I'm going to end up cleaning it. But then I went for a run a few weeks ago and I found one on the side of the street in a box, and it said great condition microwave, free to a good home. So I picked that up, and they've been having rubber burgers ever since.
Here we are, folks. The making of a businessman, and he picks up a microwave. My son picks up a microwave like a rag and bone man. Do you remember those? Rag and bone man, the horse with the carriage on, with the flat bed on the back, and go around hunting for scrap. That's you, Josh.
Yeah, it was great.
It's great. What make was it, by the way? Russell Hobbs or
Daewoo, I think.
Daewoo. Oh, it's nothing like a Daewoo microwave, is it, for cooking people's kidneys? You never know. So it's going well. Do they get a kettle? I asked if they had a kettle.
Yeah, they do have a kettle. Yeah.
They have a kettle now?
And a coffee machine.
And a coffee machine.
Yeah.
So how many coffees a day? Is it limited or
No, unlimited. 'Cause,
unlimited?
yeah, we do work with a coffee company that sends us free stuff, so that's great. So they can have as many as they want.
So a microwave in the street.
The coffee machine was free as well.
Coffee machine. Oh, the coffee machine was free. The coffee's free. What about the milk? Do you have to pay for the milk yourself?
We provide that, yeah.
Oh, you provide the milk.
Yeah, sometimes.
Big round of applause, folks, for Josh providing milk for all his extensive elves at Christmas. Well done, Josh. So proud of you providing the milk. What about the sugar? Do they take sugar?
Hopefully not.
Bring your own. If you want sugar, bring your own.
The favourites are the hot chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the Dolce Gusto machine.
Say that again.
The hot chocolate's in the Dolce Gusto machine.
The Dolce Gusto machine. I bet you have to bring your own.
No, those provided.
Wow. I don't know about you folks, but I'm feeling I need to go and work for you immediately tomorrow, wrapping something up for you. So how does business look different for a Christian? What would you say, what's the difference?
I think it's all about the way you lead at work and the way you handle yourself. That's obviously rubs off on people that you're spending 40 hours a week with. I think if they see you cutting corners and doing things...
Dodging the tax man,
things like that, which probably a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I think that the best way to show them what God is doing in our lives is through your actions, really, without preaching too hard. And then I guess after a few years, which has happened, people say, oh, well, they get to know that you go to church. And
wow.
Yeah, then they can see, obviously, through your actions, through the previous years of... the way that you've held yourself is in line with what you actually say.
Brilliant. So would you say, I know the answer to this, would you say you're a risk taker?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
calculated risks.
Talk to us about that, come on.
I think to get anywhere in life you need to be a risk taker, really. Doesn't matter if it's your job or going for a promotion or actually in business. I think nothing great comes out from a comfort zone, does it? So I think you have to obviously calculate the risk, and you can have gut feelings about things, which is the way I normally go about things, by just going with my gut and obviously praying about things. But I'll definitely say I'm a risk taker, and the way our business has grown over the years is due to that risk, really.
So could you tell us probably the biggest risk you've taken in business to date, apart from the light bulb company?
Yeah, I'd say in recent years it's probably staffing and premises. So I always like to try and keep my overheads as low as I can, so it just eliminates the possibility of stuff going wrong. Taking on staff that probably at the time were earning more than myself, but just knew that it would take the business to the next level.
Earning more than yourself?
Yeah.
I find that really hard to believe, do you? But never mind.
And also recently moved into a new premises, which is a major stretch for us, but
in fact, I think we can see some of the premises right now on screen that you've just moved to. In fact, I don't know whether we've got some shots of your old premises. Basically, it was like your office was a shed.
Yeah, garden shed.
A garden shed?
I worked in that for about 5 years.
5 years. Well done, Josh. You worked for 5 years in a garden shed running a multi-million-pound business from a garden shed. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. So now I've got carpet and windows and things like that. Yeah, so it's great. Yeah,
carpet, windows, coffee machines, sugar if you bring your own, hot chocolate.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Male and female toilets.
Male and female toilets. Brilliant. Yeah. Do you provide spray and stuff like that as well?
You have to, yeah.
You have to provide spray.
Yeah, after the hot chocolates.
I just knew that this somehow was going to take a turn for the worse. Okay, so we've talked about risk. Would you say, come on, talk to the people out there, would you say it would be right to give up a stable job in order to pursue a business? You go, okay, I'm going to do what anybody can do, what Joshua's done. I'm giving up my work tomorrow. Maybe some people are out of work right now. Would you just tell us about that?
I'd say 95% of people should not do that.
Should not do it.
Because I think it depends on your circumstances, because obviously at 17 when all I was doing was paying extortionate board and lodgings and a mobile phone bill.
Extortionate. You got to remember your mom's listening to this, Josh.
And a mobile phone bill. There was very little downside to me.
Extortionate board. Hang on a bit. Extortionate board and lodgings he was paying at our house.
Kidding.
Just kidding. Thank you.
So the downside to me was, again, calculated risk. The downside was very little. If it all went pear-shaped, I've still got a roof over my head. I had no dependents, no wife and kids, no mortgage.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're like the head of a house with kids and a mortgage, I don't think you should probably give up your job immediately.
True.
Maybe work on an evening, give it every Saturday, do something. And if it starts to work, maybe drop your hours down to 4 days a week and then gradually go from
Brilliant.
there. Because I think you can test out most things with a few hours a week, really. Kind of see if there's a market for what you're doing and then go from there. But I don't think you should really pack in everything that you're doing on a hunch. I think you should test it out first and then go from there.
Brilliant advice. I think that is absolute wisdom, gold. If you're going to do it part-time, do it on an evening, see what happens, might work, may not work.
Yeah.
So we all know, Josh, this year has been very, very unusual to say the least.
Yeah.
So many people have been hit very hard by this. So it's been a very unusual year. A lot of what you do is seasonal.
Yeah.
It's been different this year for you, I think. What percentage is seasonal for you? Like what comes in November, December, January?
Normally do about 70% of our turnover in 30 days.
70% in 30 days.
Yeah, so we start producing our Christmas lines in June.
Wow.
Yeah. So this year we've had 12 people full-time producing since June, ready for Black Friday to December 24th.
So you've been producing Christmas stuff from June in preparation, and has it gone crazy?
It's been a whole crazy year, yeah. I know a lot of people have been unfortunate, but really the business we've been in, which is gifting and online and food, kind of all intersects into probably the three biggest booming industries this year. So it's been very blessed in that respect.
Amazing.
So we've just been flat out all year, really. It hasn't stopped.
Wow. So interesting. Let's talk about interesting things like what's your biggest seller right now? Weren't you doing pork scratchings in an advent calendar at one stage?
Yeah, it's always big. Last 3 or 4 years. So alongside our hampers, we have like a lot of exclusivity deals with companies. So companies like the pork scratching guys, we'll sign an agreement with them to sell their products on Amazon exclusively. So we've had that about 3 or 4 years. And that's always been a surprising good seller. Pork scratching advent calendar.
Wow.
Yeah.
So everybody knows my all-time favorite show is Saturday Kitchen Live.
Yeah.
Saturday Kitchen Live, and you text me the other day, when was it, Saturday morning, to say you were surprised. You'd heard a rumor, but it actually was true. Tell us about the rumor, Saturday Kitchen Live.
Yeah, so a lot of these companies we do exclusivity deals for, they have huge PR companies, they're multi-million pound companies, so they will get their products, especially advent calendars, because they make good TV, people going through the top 10 of the year. So I had an inkling that it would be on Saturday Morning Kitchen this week, one of the advents that we had exclusively. And,
wow.
And it was, so that went, that kind of blew up over the space of an hour.
Okay. Now, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that this is not a plug for your business at all. We're not plugging your business, but I just thought it was interesting because not only that, you also got a mention by Philip Schofield on, what was that on?
Oh, not personally, obviously, but
personally.
Another brand that we work with was on How to Spend It Well at Christmas last night, Wednesday night, with Philip Schofield. Yeah, so we sold out in about 8 minutes of that product that we had thousands of.
You sold out in 8 minutes?
Yeah.
So too late, can't buy them. Got any pork scratching ones left?
A few, yeah.
Few? Are they all the same flavour or?
I think there's 8 different flavours.
Can you name 8?
Marvellous maple, low and slow barbecue, perfectly salted, salt and vinegar, habanero chili, hot to trot chili.
Hot to trot.
And salt and vinegar, did I say that one? I think that's about it.
Okay, so let's talk to every 16-year-old out there right now. Josh, come on, talk to the camera, talk to 16-year-olds out there, and they are wanting to do this, but let's talk about handling money. You start getting money around you. How do you handle money at 16? Give some advice to a 16-year-old, 18-year-old out there because we've seen so many professional footballers who have lots of money, then they lose it all. We see people who win the lottery, they get lots of money. They've got no wisdom, so it kills them. So what would your advice be to a younger person?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, like you said, I may have had about £10 a week coming in from a paper round, but it was learning the principles of what to do with that. And I think if you can grasp that with £10, then when it starts being thousands,
Wow.
as long as you've got the principles in place, it's just the same thing over and over again.
Wow.
But if you're thinking at 16, it's only £10, yeah, that's not going to amount to much. It obviously soon builds up over time once you start working. And if you've got that mentality of saving and investing and buying assets from an early age, that's going to set you up for life, really.
And you believe in giving?
Yep.
I know we don't really want to talk about personal giving, which we're not going to, but surely one of the secrets to your success has been your private giving.
Yes.
And that's not for anybody else it's not for me to talk about it anyway, but I know that one of your secrets for success has got to be personal giving, tithing, giving to God, and being generous with people. So how crazy is Christmas? Let's talk about your personal life. Marriage, you got a baby on the way. How many hours? How do you balance your private life, your work life, church, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so as I said, about 70% of our income comes in the last 30 days. So it's having to kind of balance the year rather than the months.
Wow.
So November and December would probably not socialise at all.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah, I tell you that every month, but yeah. November, December, probably won't make any plans outside of going to church and seeing family. And just
you hope.
Yeah.
You hope.
If you're in my bubble. And just obviously need to immerse myself in work for those 2 months because that's obviously where you get the highest returns. But then in counterbalancing that in the summer months, taking probably more time off than, say, a normal person.
I've noticed.
Because that will obviously counteract the fact that obviously having a wife, she's not going to allow that 12 months of the year. So
no.
Kind of the payoff is November and December, you get your head down and do what you've got to do, but then probably have a bit more freedom throughout the year.
Wow. And of course, baby on the way. So, by the way, can you imagine yourself as a dad?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Tell us about waking up in the middle of the night. The baby's crying. Who's it going to be, you or Emma?
Emma.
Yeah, you're going to be fast asleep pretending, aren't you?
Depends if it's November or December.
Josh, I just want you to know that when it was you, when you were the little bubby, then your mom pretended to be asleep. No, she didn't pretend. She was asleep. And I used to get up.
Nothing's changed.
No, nothing's changed. You're in for it. Let's talk about consulting. Okay, it's a big word, but one of the things that God has favored you with, and there's no doubt about it, Josh, the favor of God on your business. You know that, I know that, people around you know that. And one of the favors that is upon your life right now is that you are, I think it would be true to say, quite in demand from other people to consult their businesses.
Yeah.
So they pay you to come in and talk to them about how to do it.
Yeah, so...
Kind of.
Yeah, a few years ago I got approached by somebody just very randomly that used to work for one of my suppliers who was starting their own business and wanted a bit of help on setting up online. So they paid me an hourly rate to do that, and then that morphed from one person to now several a month. So we have ongoing contracts with companies where I will consult them on a weekly basis and take a percentage of their sales for that. And then, on the other hand, I'll go into companies, say, once and once only, and for maybe 2 days, and then that's paid on a daily rate. So, yeah, last guy I was with, I think I did 2 hours work for, selling wood chippings, and now he's doing $30,000 a month after 3 months online. Yes, that's never something I've pushed or even asked for. It's just kind of naturally come my way. Yeah.
Wow. So if you know anybody with wood chip-ins and you want to earn 30,000 a month selling wood chip-ins, then here's your chance. Where'd you get the wood chip-ins from?
The forest.
Just thought of an online. Anyway, move on, Mark. You ain't got time. Okay, Josh. So talk to us about the number one question that you get asked at any given time. There's a number one question that I always find that comes my way. So there must be a number one question that comes your way.
Yes, so it normally works the same every time, and that's, Josh, can we have a coffee? Which is nothing wrong with that. And then they say, okay, I'm going to start a business online because I've seen you do it and it looks really easy.
Yeah.
And then the number one question is when we sit down, they say, can you give me an idea for a business?
Okay.
Yeah, and they've not thought it through.
So really they want you to give them the idea for their business.
Yeah, and then tell them how to do it.
And then tell them how to do it,
Yeah.
which is not really
I
the
normally
right
say
way.
if I had the idea, I'd be doing it myself.
Yeah, great answer. If I had the idea, I'd be doing it myself. Brilliant. What about a nice family question? Let's say that we get the ban on meeting together lifted so we can actually be together. Do you want to come around this year for Christmas again, or are you happy in your own little place?
Yeah, I'll pop round
Pop round
for lunch.
for lunch, yeah?
Yeah.
I know you will.
And the buffet.
The buffet.
Yeah.
Well, a favourite thing on the Christmas buffet?
Don't mind smoked salmon.
Smoked
bit of
salmon.
pate.
Bit of pate.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Nice bit of Christmas cake.
Christmas cake,
Fully
yeah.
iced, not just the topped one.
You don't want the top fully iced.
It's got to be fully iced, yeah.
It's got to be fully iced. Anybody thumbs up for fully iced Christmas cake? Any particular place it has to come from? Marks and Spencer's do a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think Aldi's got a great one. Aldi's, are we allowed to keep advertising tonight? Who cares? Aldi's mince pies, you know, the almond ones. Or if you're posh, you call it almond.
Yeah,
What do you
it's all
say?
right. Almond.
Almond. From the black country, you got to be almond. Does anybody else detect, as I'm talking to Josh, bearing in mind this is the longest conversation I've ever had with him, all in one go, that is. I'm pretty sure we've done 45 minutes during the last 31 years. But does anybody else detect that Josh now has an Australian accent?
No way.
Good day, mate. Yeah, it's rubbing off, Emma. It's rubbing off on Joshua. There we go. We've got an Australian black country mate. Okay, something I've been meaning to ask for ages, Josh, and that is your company, and I love this. I've got a feeling that did I not give you this name of this company? Just say yeah.
Yes.
Is that true?
If it is, I don't like it, so
Okay.
I wish I hadn't picked it.
You wish you hadn't picked it. All right. Well, let's just say the first three letters are JMB. Shall we say JMB? What does the M stand for in JMB? Oh, let's tell them. The company's called JMB Global. What's the M for?
Mark.
Can you lend me a fiver?
And if I get it back.
Yeah, that is Joshua Mark Burchell all over. Everybody. I ask him for the fiver. He wants it back. Josh, let's ask finally. You are crazy busy. You've got some great staff,
Yep.
wonderful staff, interesting staff
Yep.
from all over the world, staff. Yeah. Some next level staff.
Yep.
Do you need any staff at this time? Or any time?
Always looking for good people.
Good people?
Yeah. It's depending on what your skills are. We've got forklift drivers, box packers. Depends what your skills and interests are, really, I guess.
Wow.
Always on the lookout for good people.
Always on the look good. What about bad people? What about people who don't show up on time and people that, you know, do you want any of those?
No, I've had plenty of those.
You got plenty of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not anymore, but yeah.
So if you're looking for a job, maybe there you go. If you're a good person, driving a forklift truck, packing pork scratchings. What did you say they were called, the pork scratchings? One of the flavors?
Marvelous maple.
Marvelous maple. Josh, it's been an absolute delight sharing this evening
you.
with you. I know people, Joshua, will have received something from what you've shared tonight. And you know, whether you're meant to be in business or not, For me, I was not meant to be in business. I was meant to be pastoring this church. For Joshua, it was different. For you, it's different. Whether it's a 9-to-5 job, doing what you do, as long as you love what you're doing and are passionate about what you do. Right now, we want to say goodnight to you. And next week, don't forget, on Wednesday, we start a brand new 4 nights in December called Hope for Christmas. I know you're going to love it. Why not join us then? And if you're looking for that extra special Christmas gift, don't forget, just look for Joshua and you'll find pork scratchings inside your Advent calendar. Have you ever heard anything so amazing? So it's good night from me and it's good night from him. God bless. We love you.